What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We headed down in the shop. What are we working on today? Well, a long-time friend of mine has a son that's grown up. I ain't seen this kid in many years, and he reached out to me needing some help on a car that he inherited from his grandmother. And looks like it's a little Ford Maverick. So I'm walking down the shop. We're gonna go down here and meet with this young man and check out his car and see if we can't help him out on it today. Hope it don't take all day, because it's supposed to be 100 degrees today. Not even kidding y'all. 100 degrees here in South Mississippi. So y'all come on, let's go check it out. All right, guys, there she is. This is my young friend Bryce. Bryce, say hello to you two.
Oh, how y'all doing?
So, me and this young man right here.
Yes, sir.
Me and his daddy have known each other since probably, I'm gonna say around 1991 or 2. When I left elementary school and went to high school at Heidelberg Academy, that's where I met your dad. And I'm not gonna go into any stories because you've probably already heard some. So.
Daddy was nervous me coming out here. I told him, when I got off the phone with you, I told him, I said, I'm gonna go see your best friend and hear all them crazy stories. And I didn't even say your name. He already knew who I was talking about, where I was going. But he was glad I was coming out here. He said, that's the man you need to go talk to on that car. So I was glad to come out here and get this thing going right.
All right, Bryce. So, give me the lowdown on this cool little Maverick here. This was your grandma's?
This was my great-grandma's. She bought it brand new in '72 from Pachuta dealership.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and she took it home. They lived in Sharon, and she passed it to her son, my great-granddaddy. Then he passed it to my nanny, my grandmother, which me and my grandpa started working on. We took the motor, tranny out. It had a 302 with a C4 transmission on the back of it. We took all that out, had the C4 rebuilt, and we had the block sitting there on the stand, and Papa passed away. Well, I want to build that block into a 347 stroker.
I got you.
So that cost a lot of money.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So I went to the junkyard and I found me an '89 model 302 come out of a Lincoln Town car. I took all the fuel injection off of it, stuck a carb on it, and stuck that C4 transmission back on it, and that's how we've made it so far.
When you had the intake off, when you was converting it from fuel injection to carbureted, do you remember if this motor has a roller camshaft in it?
I believe it does.
I'll show you in the shop. Some of those engines were roller, and what I mean by that, when you had the intake off, it had like a thin piece of metal in there that looked like a spider, and what that did was held the lifters in place. So
this one did.
Okay.
Yeah, it had that thin sheet of metal clamped over the lifters on it.
Okay. All right. So good deal. We got a roller block. That's always a plus.
In this car, this is the original color, chicken yellow, I call it, and it had a brown vinyl top on it.
I was gonna say, looking at it, it looks like it used to have a vinyl top on it.
Sure did. The vinyl was gone when we first started working, so I scraped it off. The vinyl matched this trim that's running down the door.
Okay.
I never cared for the vinyl. When I have it painted, I'm gonna have it repainted. I'm gonna have them strip all of the stuff off.
Is that the original paint on it?
That is the original paint.
Oh wow.
And the original hubcaps too. Everybody asked me about those. Everybody likes them.
So Grandma, she backed into something at one time.
A couple things. It's been pushed around some other yards before with a tractor. Before I got a hold of it, they were rough on it.
So the only rust I'm seeing is just a little bit in the lower doors, which ain't bad, and right there behind the rear tire.
And the trunk lid is, I believe the trunk lid is probably shot. I'm not a paint and body guy at all.
I see it.
But, you know,
well,
it's really not that bad. Somebody that knows what they're doing.
I say let's try to get all the bugs worked out of it and get it running good, and then when the time comes, move on to paint and body. And I might know where a parts car is, so Mike can get you a rear bumper and maybe a trunk lid. That lower valence down here. Can probably take it off and fix it. It's similar design to the one on the early model Mustangs. I've had to straighten a few in the past.
I know it's got this antique tag, and I should have brought it to show the camera, but I have the original tag, said Nano on it.
Oh, really?
So whenever we get it driving and on the road, and I get
You
it,
got to
good
put
go,
that tag back on it.
I'm hopefully gonna go to the DMV and put a blackout tag on it.
There you go.
Put Nano.
Yeah.
So when it gets running and we making a few horsepower,
Yeah.
when I pass everybody, they gonna know that Nano passed us. You know what I mean?
I do, dude. I totally get it. I totally understand. Can you pop the hood for me?
Yeah. We'll pop the hood and take a look. It's a little messy. We'll be messing with the distributor, but
Okay.
MSD has been pretty good to me. Holly's been really good to me, putting these parts on it. It's got a set of shorty headers on it. It's Headmans.
Okay.
And at the moment, that's on the exhaust. I'm hoping to get me a nice little good sounding exhaust built.
I might have something in there that we can hook up for temporary
Yeah, you're just loud.
until you can do better, because it's way easier to tune one with some mufflers on it.
Yep.
But we'll get it on the lift and see what I got that might work.
And it's just a little, I mean, it ain't nothing's done to it. It come out of that town car. The junkyard said it was running when they pulled it out.
Right.
A buddy of mine works there. Stuck a little intake on it. 600 CFM carb. Just something to get me and my wife down the road. Take it through town, get some ice cream in it, you know.
I like it, dude. I like it a lot.
Well, you could help me and make sure I'm not wrong, but I was told that these cars saved the Ford Motor Company in '69. Do you remember when the gas got so high when the Mustangs come out?
This was supposedly the answer to the gas crisis.
Yep.
They were trying to do economical vehicles.
That's right. But
And,
still keep a muscle car
Right.
vibe, because when people bought them Mustangs, they started these in '69 and a half.
Right.
Pretty much 70, but some of the VINs have 69 on them. And
Because the big Mustangs, like the big fastbacks, faded out in '72.
Yep.
And then they come out in the Mustang 2, which was, and guys, y'all forgive me, it is my least favorite body style of a Mustang in '73, and I believe that run all the way up till '78. Now I could be wrong on those years, but the little Mustang 2, yes, that's my least favorite. I like the Maverick way better than I do the Mustang 2.
And now when they first come out with these cars, they come with a slant 6.
Right.
And some of them had a
Oh, they were a slant. They wasn't a straight 6.
no, they were straight 6. I'm sorry, straight 6. Most of them had a little 3-speed automatic. Some had the C4, and some of them had I believe it was 3-speed or 4-speed.
Do they ever do any with 3-speed on the column?
Yes, actually they did. The first few years was 3-speed on the column,
Okay.
and then guys would swap them over. A lot of guys love it, and I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna talk to you. I want to put a T5 in it one day.
Now we talking.
That's what I really
Now we
want.
talking.
Right now, it's these old cars. I found ways around things. It's got an automatic on the column, of course, but the linkages that come down through bushings have blown out.
Right.
You could only put it in like reverse and drive if you slammed it in.
Right.
So I took all that out. I bought me a B&M, a kit to go on my C4,
Right.
and I actually borrowed a B&M shifter from Tommy,
Okay.
and it's got the lockout in neutral and all.
Is
So
it in here now?
Yeah, it's sitting between the two seats. That door might not open all the way with that fender.
I know where that shifter come from.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it got off that shelf in that shop, ain't it?
Sure did. And I will look at it more when we're inside, but it's got that beautiful yellow shag carpeting in it.
Heck yeah.
That is as ugly as a homemade sin, but
I love seeing this generation, y'all, want to fool cars. I mean, it just really, really, really makes me happy, because there's so many kids nowadays, late teenagers, early 20s, that don't want to fool with this stuff no more. And it just, I don't know, I guess I'm wired different. And I love seeing this generation want to work on hot rods and cars. So when he reached out to me looking for some parts and want to know if he could haul it over and help him with it today, I was like, you know what? Come on, bring it on over. Let's check it out and see if we can't get this thing to run and work out some bugs on it. So let's get this thing unloaded, get her pushed up in the shop, and see what we're dealing with here. All right, bud. Let's see what we're working with here. So the battery's hot. Let's see here what we got going on. Ouch. So you got an electric fuel pump on it, right?
Yeah. The only thing I didn't rig up, which I'm hoping it's not a huge deal, is I don't have a pressure regulator.
This should be fine for a
It
carburetor.
said it was like 3 to 7 psi.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm gonna do one eventually.
If you swap your timing chain cover like you're talking about, you can put a manual pump on it, and you won't have to fool with electric pump.
I thought about that, but I always thought electric would be a better system. But you know, what's your opinion on that?
I like them both, but this red car over here, this is a manual fuel pump on this car, and that's a Dart racing. Well, it's a Lawrence racing Dart block, trip flow headed, with some Brian Tooley setup heads, roller camshaft. Was solid roller, now it's hydraulic roller, but the motor made a little over 600, and that manual fuel pump supplies it with no problem, no issues. Like on the big end, I've never starved it for fuel.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and I got a regulator on it, so. But we can do something like that. Now, Jennifer's 86 here. This is Holly Terminator EFI. But this is one of the earlier kits. This is before the Sniper system come out.
Okay. And see, I was wondering, I seen some of the Terminator stuff, but my buddy Tripp has got Bronco.
Yep.
And it's got all the Holly.
All right, well, I built the motor in the Bronco.
That's right, you did, didn't you?
And that has a Sniper kit on it also.
But it's got the Sniper on the main deal, but it's got the HyperSpark
Yes.
distributor system all up in it.
Yes.
Because I noticed it the other day when I was over there.
Right.
Talking to
So if you decide to, and you do go with the other timing chain cover, the earlier year model, don't frown on the manual fuel pump.
Yeah.
Because we can put the manual fuel pump on it and it'll be a little cleaner look and less headache. But as time goes on and you want to build your 347, we can also step up on a better manual fuel pump. So you have run the old EFI distributor. All right, explain how you got it wired. You got it going to a ground, a constant 12 volt, then a key 12 volt?
So what I've got is, you've got your constant 12 volts, your ground for the coil, and then your bottom wire right there is your ground for the distributor.
Okay.
So the distributor itself is grounded to the car, then I've got my coil ground run over, then a constant 12 volt source run in.
Okay, but when you cut the key on, does it ignite the coil? Or is that
Yes,
hot
sir.
all the
Yes,
time?
sir. Because this wire on the hot side, those are tied together
Okay.
on the constant hot.
All right. Now, are you pulling off the original wiring, or are you going straight to the fuse box?
I'm pulling off the original wiring.
Because the original wiring did not put a true 12 volts to the coil.
Okay.
It only did like six and a half. So this might be some of the issue. It might not be pulling a true 12 volts in order to light this baby off.
Because I didn't check it with a multimeter.
Right.
I checked it with my test light. I was sitting there
Right.
finding wires and what did what.
Because
this and
I
that.
have made that mistake myself.
I did not know that. I thought it was.
Because the original cars, the 12 volts would burn the points up if you left the key on.
I didn't even think about that. I
That's the
forgot about
reason that you
points.
see a lot of them running a capacitor between the points and the ignition source. Therefore, it does not burn the points up when you leave the key on. The capacitor that little weird looking block absorbs the electricity in order to keep from burning the points up. So
I didn't know they would swap it down like that.
let me make sure it's in park, and let's spin it over and see what she's gonna do.
Okay.
Hang on, let me wiggle it. I heard it. Try it again. All right, the timing is a little high. Try it again. Hold up. All right, it's out of time. So let's just go ahead and pull that distributor, and let's stick another distributor in it and go ahead and time it all.
Okay.
All right. After digging through all my distributors, I ain't got nothing here that's gonna work. Same problem we run into when we done Dirty John. I thought I had an MSD, we could have mounted an MSD box. But all I've got is 429, 460, 351, no 302 stuff. If I got one for 302, it's for a fuel injected Fox body. So for right now, let's just stab the one back in it that you had.
Okay.
So if we can get this thing to run good enough to listen to it and see how it does, get the little carb tuned out, then we'll order a ready to run distributor to put in it. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
Sound like a plan? So the only wires that you had to have coming out of here was the ones you got tapped in now?
Yes, sir. I think the rest of these are probably for the timing and a tack readout.
But you got it to bust off.
Yeah, I drove it down the road.
It just didn't run good.
Well, you know, we get it fixed up. It's gonna run good, but it had a constant popping out of the exhaust. Like sitting there idling,
Okay.
it would be idling and it would be pop, 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 pop.
All right, leave the coil wire off for now.
Okay.
And I had to get rid of the firing order because I couldn't remember it off the top of my head because they got two different firing orders. Let's put this plug back in here. That baby's burning rich.
Yes, sir.
You know what? I got another set of plugs here.
Okay. I was gonna stop by the store and grab some this morning, but
Before we do that, I got a fresh set of plugs. They've only had a little bit of run time on them. Those look pretty fouled out. Do I have all of them? I do. Let's throw these plugs in there.
okay.
That way we'll know we got fresh plugs.
At least eliminate that factor.
Yeah. So there is no exhaust, right?
Open header.
Open header.
Right at the firewall.
All right, let me get us a rag in case it pops back. I don't know where the timing is, so let's just see.
Okay.
I'm gonna work the throttle.
Yep. You
You hit it. the early firing order. Alright, let's see if it's running the old firing order, because 89 is a weird year. It could have the old firing order or the new firing order.
Was that the year that they started?
Well, in the early 90s, they started the HOs, and some of the bigger cars carried over the old school firing order.
You see, that's my look. I would get that half year that was like,
Right.
maybe so, maybe not.
So
Okay.
let me hook up the ignition and you turn the key.
You need a little bit more fuel, or
Nah, I think we got enough in the
just enough to know?
just enough in the carb to know. Let me hook up my wire here.
Tripped me out when I hit that key and it didn't shut itself off.
Yeah, that was my fault. I do that all the time. I'm bad about it. All right, bud, try it. Let me hook you some fuel up. Let's let it idle. Well, she's running the old firing order, my friend. Hit the key for me.
That makes me feel a lot better there.
Sounds way better. Popping? Well, it could be that carburetor's been sitting out for a long time.
See, I never knew what that called was. I thought it was something in the distributor or.
No, one, it ain't got no exhaust on it. Two, the plugs was fouled out from the wrong firing order. And we can't advance the timing with a vacuum advance. It's just locked out right now. So I do want to change it to a ready run distributor. I can tune it out a little better. But now we know that it's an early 302. It's got a roller camshaft in it, but it's the early firing order.
Go get my notepad out of my truck right off the sound.
Alright,
Thank you.
let's wire everything up the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
And let's try to run some exhaust on it and hook up the modulator valve and fix the vacuum line. That'll work?
Perfect, brother.
Alright.
So you
Sounds like it runs good, so that's a plus. I say let's check for key 12 volts coming from the fuse panel,
okay?
and we can run the ignition off of one and run the fuel pump on its own leg. That way, if the fuel pump goes out, blows the fuse, it don't kill the distributor too. You know, it's on its own leg, so its own power source. Alright, Bryce, fire it up, see what it sounds like. I think we got it all wired up. Looking nice and neat. Hey man,
Perfect.
I bet that thing will jump a Coke bottle in the parking lot.
I guarantee you it will, brother. When I get done with it,
I'll
it
tell
will.
you what, since you're sitting in it, fire it up and put it in reverse, and I'll tell you when to stop.
put it in and it didn't run right.
Tommy didn't have a handle for it?
Nope, none. And I got to get a spring for the lever there. It's actually in my truck.
Remind me to look in my box. I might have one.
Okay. Now with the, got a question. The Mavericks, would they be considered a unibody?
Yes.
Because it doesn't have a frame
Right.
through the whole thing.
Exactly.
Is that not how the Mustangs are as well?
Mustang same way.
Unibody?
Alright guys, let us get this thing up on the lift. Check out the exhaust, see if I got something we can make work for temporarily. And hook up the modulator valve where to shift. Got her up on the lift. Old car's in good shape. Solid. Got custom exhaust underneath here. This is fancy.
It's got a hole for the water to ease out if it gets
Look
water.
at here.
Drain hole.
This is custom right here. Probably gonna leave that. Trunk pan's in good shape. Got a little rust there. Nothing that a young man like Bryce can't learn to fix.
I told you a while ago, if you look, they'll notice that there's no tank up under here.
Right.
I had to drop the car back down, but the tank had rusted itself bad.
Oh really?
It was awful.
You got a boat gas tank in there?
A new tank was $600 factory.
Oh my
And
God.
I said, mm-mm. So I stuck a 12-gallon boat tank in the trunk, run my line down there, and that's how we've been getting around.
I might get you a better deal on a new tank. I'll have to check for you. Alright, we're going to tie up some transmission lines, and he's only got one collector. So I'm going to dig through, see if I got a spare collector we can tie onto and get him some temporary exhaust. Take some of this leakage off that he's not using no more. The transmission lines are just laying right here flopping on the tie rod, so we got to fix that. Alright, let's get all that tied up and see if we can't get this thing down the road for a little test drive, y'all. Well, we ain't too far from the test drive, y'all. Bryce checking the oil in his rear end. Wasn't very tight, was it?
Nah. It was good. Now some of that dirt away from it. I ain't made it far enough to wash it yet.
You gonna take a bet?
I say it's low.
Say it's low?
I say it's low.
Okay.
Ha!
No
Right
way.
on the money, brother. Look how clean it is too. Look at that.
Holy moly.
Ain't no telling how that is, man.
Hang on, let me look. Find my zip tie method.
So you don't believe me?
Oh yeah. This is just a little trick. There it is. Running down the zip tie. Put it back in, it's
Man.
full.
Don't you just love when things come together?
Smells like good old 90 weight too. He don't have a dipstick, but he's got 6 quarts of oil in it, which is 1 quart too many. Got his line zip tied up out of the way off the tie rod there, so they're not rubbing. And got his modulator valve hooked up. I don't know if that needs to go on the rear port or the front port. We're gonna try the front one first. If it don't work, we'll swap to the rear. Tighten up the dry shaft. Didn't have a plug in the rear end, transmission. I couldn't find mine, but we found a boat plug. Bryce said, hey, will that work? And it worked. Went in there, tightened up, put the clamp on. So he's gonna order him a speedometer cable. He's gonna change this rear transmission mount. Got his linkage all snubbed up on there. We've done a nut and bolt check. Haven't found nothing loose. That's good. Motor mount bolts are in tight. Transmission lines are in. We cannot run exhaust because he's only got one collector. He didn't bring his other one. He forgot it at home. So we're going to let it down, hook up the vacuum line to the modulator valve, check all our fluids. We can't check the oil in the motor because it has the wrong timing chain cover on it. He's going to swap that out. We'll get one and change it, change the water pump at the same time, fix his accessories. But he wants to take it down the road. So I think we got it good enough to ease down the road where nothing will leak. So motor won't leak, transmission won't leak, rear end's full. And the dry shaft was a little bit loose. Not much, only about 4 rounds on each nut.
I told you, man, I was laid up under this thing. And for this little car was sitting low, and I was laid up under there wrenching on it.
It is low.
I said, oh, that'd be good enough.
He is fell in love with my lift, y'all. He says this lift's awesome.
Oh, man, dude, I gotta have a lift. I've been a jack stand mechanic my whole life.
Well, I was up until about 10 years ago. And I went to the bank and borrowed the money. No lie. I borrowed $5,000 from the bank. And the lift cost me $3, and the toolbox cost me $2. And I ordered them both through CarQuest. That's a Ford brand 10,000 pound lift. And it's been a great one. Matter of fact, we just repacked the cylinders on it.
I like it.
Me and my buddy Bradley. But because I bought a lift and a toolbox through CarQuest, they were running in a special. They gave me a brand new impact and a set of impact sockets for buying through them. So
$5,000 worth of equipment, and you got a impact and some sockets.
Yeah.
Hey,
Paid the note on it for 3 years, and it was worth every dime. I'd love to have a 4-post lift one day.
you know, that's actually, you think about that. You say you borrowed the money, and I borrowed money. My first loan was a set of tires and wheels for one of my trucks.
Yeah.
You think about some of these kids getting into mechanicing, want to buy a toolbox or something like that, get them a little loan,
Yeah.
something cheap, start their credit,
Exactly.
get them something they like, and it'll last them a while.
Well, it's funny that you say that. My first loan ever in life was for $1,500 for my first truck, 78 Ford truck wheelbase XLT Ranger that I bought from my buddy in Whitney in high school. My second loan was a set of tires because I had smoked them smooth off the rim. I had a 351M/400 modified with a C6 transmission, aluminum intake and headers, and I just thought in my head that was the baddest thing since sliced bread. And anyway, so Mom and Daddy bought me a set of tires for Christmas, and I didn't want them to know that I was running the tires on the weekends. So I went and got me a tire count, and I'd go buy me one new right tire on Monday morning. And I didn't have enough money to buy it because I was still in school, so they started me a charge account. And about every month or two, I'd go get one new right tire where Mom and Daddy wouldn't know that I was doing burnouts.
The thing to take from that story is one right tire.
I know.
One right tire.
It wasn't even positive track.
One. So he was in the parking lot wherever they was. If him and my dad were together, probably close somewhere to Heidelberg.
Nope.
They was
North Laurel.
The old sunflower.
Yes.
So
We used to cruise Old Bay, and I would leave the North Laurel parking lot, headed back down Old Bay, and we would ride down it to the Kmart and McDonald's, make the loop, and then drive another 1.5 miles, 2 miles back to Sunflower. And there was one 4-way stop between there. And there would be cars coming towards you that was a line of your buddies. So I had to haze them.
So he was in the parking lot or on the road,
Yep.
making the block into old sunflower.
Mm-hmm.
I barely remember the old sunflower. I remember going in it once or twice, I think.
Yep.
So they were running around doing that, burning the tires down. One tire.
Yes.
One tire.
One tire. One tire fire is all we had, or all I had.
Man, and you thought yourself, good Lord,
dude,
I got a race
I
car.
thought I was the coolest dude on the street. And my buddies had way cooler stuff than I did, but I thought it was awesome. Had a blast. I actually missed those days. So anyway, let's see if this is one tire fire. Oh, one tire fire.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't worry, we'll fix it.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
We'll fix it.
I say let's let it down, hook up the vacuum line, check our stuff out up top, and let's try to make a little test drive in it. Well, what you say, Bryce?
I say let's get after it, brother.
All right.
You have to excuse all the leaves.
Hey, what? It smells like Avon in here.
I said new car scent.
Oh, a new car scent.
New car to me.
It's comfortable.
It is comfortable.
I mean, this is
Watch
like.
this now. Hang on. Oh,
Wait a minute.
they leaked all the way back, brother.
They're on the inside?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Dude.
you want to see something even better? Watch this. So, you have a lap belt.
Yeah.
Then you got to put your
Shoulder harness.
you got to
on.
put your shoulder harness.
Well, you know your shoulder harness goes up here, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what that's for.
Well, they're a little old and crusty. I don't want to break them. But
Yeah.
anyway, click it in there. You take it apart. It's like a racing harness.
Oh,
It's meant to
my
race.
gosh. This thing's a car already. Hey, we got good oil pressure too.
Told you. Only thing I ain't hooked up is my bolt gauge.
Is that nut tight on the steering wheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to take that steering wheel off.
The dash is like mint, this thing. Coco, you don't chase us. Eh? No, sir. You got your cell phone?
I do.
Okay, I don't have mine. So if we break down, we'll have to use yours to call somebody. Is Jennifer still gone?
We call AAA.
Nah, we'll probably call Dylan.
It's got the fan. Works. All the lights work. Dash has got LEDs in there. If it was dark enough, you could see them. All my gauges work down there.
I like this little shelf in here, dude.
You know that wouldn't be there if it had air conditioning. If it had like full AC, it would have a duct work, and there'd be a duct there, and there'd be a duct right here. Blinkers work.
No.
Yes, they do. I swear.
Dude,
Hazards,
this thing,
they work.
you don't even have to restore this thing. I tell you what, go right.
Go right.
Yeah. Good Lord, we done spun out already. See if the shift light itself. Nope. Trying to. Yeah, it did. Uh-oh. Slipping. Got fluid in the transmission?
Did we check it?
No.
We sure didn't, did we?
I didn't check it.
I didn't check it either.
I just assumed because everything was new that I had fluid in it. Oh my gosh.
Hang on.
It's wanting to. Just let it go. Wheel lock. Okay. We made it 200 yards from the house. Nobody's behind us. Come to a dead stop right here. And go to park. Go to reverse. Alright, go to first. Go one more click.
That is my first.
Okay. Alright, easy on it.
Touch it.
Bump it in second. Alright. Bump it to third. Losing third. Go back to second. It might be just low fluid.
It probably is. Pretty nice, though.
And we might have the Mazda valve hooked up in the wrong spot. So let's get back to the shop, check the fluid, and
Okay. Gonna turn around right here.
yeah, check the Mazda valve.
No power steer, no AC.
302 is running great.
I think it is.
Right and firing order, we'll fix it every time. He's on up a little more. Alright, let's get out and check the fluid.
Oh.
Look at there.
Like a cigarette?
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
smoke,
good.
but
I don't either.
you can.
All right, crank it up. Let's check the fluid in it. I'm curious to see what it is. I'll get us a rag. Cut it off.
Means extra low.
Went to O'Reilly's. Got us some El Cheapo Universal Automatic Transmission Fluid, y'all. Yeah, Bryce wanted to ride in the Celine. He's got to ride in Dirty John today for lunch. We went and got Gatorade because we got hot and Stan, the F100. We just took the Celine. He said one more trip and
we can have them all. I've been trying to get him to take me in that red GT over there, but that
we'll get it out one day. All right, let's pour 1 quart in it and see if it touches the stick.
I bet you it won't. Oh yes, sir. Oh,
That's like that filled it up, didn't it?
yes, sir.
Let's swap that line on the modulator valve.
Okay. Is OSHA involved in this shop?
No.
That's fine. You should see my roofing crew. The boat plug worked.
Yeah. Boat plug done great. I got it on the front, right?
Do what, sir?
I got it on the front of the valve, facing or going toward the engine. So
Yes, sir.
we're gonna swap it to the rear. Because I don't think it was low enough on fluid to make it not shift. I think it was modulator related.
Only thing is that tube is a little.
Yeah, it's a little bigger. It's gonna be a little aggravating to get it mashed on there.
I did notice that.
Coco's looking at me in the ear. Quit, Coco.
Come on. There you go. Oh yeah.
You're gonna need a zip tie to put the other one back on, the cap back on the other side.
Yes, sir. Cap's a little big for it. Unless we got a smaller cap.
All right, let me go see. Give me that cap. If I can't find one, I'll bring you a zip tie. Found one. Let's try that.
Mm-hmm.
And that weird
Beautiful.
double nipple modulator valve might take more than one vacuum port. I don't know.
Like I said, I've never seen two.
I hadn't either.
I don't really.
My '69 Mustang's only got one, and everything I've ever fooled with has only got one.
And
so.
most of the guys I see only have one.
Everything look okay?
Oh yeah, she looks good.
All right, let's try it out. Okay, got the phone. Coco, if we're not back in 5 minutes, you just wait longer, okay? Okay.
Alrighty. Told you. Even got my high and low.
Look at you, son. Cruising in style.
I told my wife whenever I picked this thing up, that button was down there by my foot.
Yeah.
I said, baby, you know what that's for? She said, the hood latch. I reached down and punched it and the lights dim. She said, oh my goodness.
Yep, we're moving. That's a plus.
Watch this.
Dude, this thing's mint.
But
This
it's
thing.
the mirror. You know, it's only got one mirror.
Right.
Okay, on the driver's side.
My F100's only got one.
And the mirror adjuster, if people don't know, is a cable.
Yeah.
So as you move that, it moves a cable down in there,
Yeah.
moving your mirror. Now the grabbers had 2 mirrors.
I'm just glad that a 22-year-old is intrigued by this kind of stuff. That's what I like.
I love
It makes me excited, man. Warms my heart.
That
All
means
right.
we got the younger generation.
Let's just ease into it.
Okay.
Cut that dome light off. And let's just ease down the road and see if she's going to shift.
Right.
Right. Same path. Is it in first or drive?
Drive.
Hang on. Good God, I can't move it.
I think it's got to drive.
That's so weird. That is weird. What's going on?
Neutral.
Might come to a dead stop. Is the cable in a bind?
I don't think so. I know we're in gear right now. That's neutral.
Alright. Drive.
Oh, there it went. First.
Alright, start off at first. Go to second. Go to second. Go to third. Nope, we ain't got no third gear, dude. Full of fluid.
What, you know what that means now?
Swamp the modulator valve.
We're going to be optimistic about everything. We just take a T5 in.
Yeah, can't go wrong with a good little T5 behind it. It'll handle a little bit of beating on. Then once it bites the dust, then we go trimming. Let's go to the stop sign down here. I know a little trick. Let me try it. And might be a piece of trash in the valve body. And if that don't work, we'll figure it out. Stop sign.
Oh, this stop sign.
Yep. Alright, put it up in park. Let's change sides. You feel like you got the cable adjusted right?
I feel like I do.
It's probably gonna die. Bump it in reverse as we're rolling forward. It reverses the fluid in the transmission. And if it had a piece of trash in it, then maybe it blowed it out. Alright, come on, baby. Nope. First and second feel great. But when it goes to third, there is no third. Little motor's running good though.
I think it's been running really well.
Oh, dude.
Like a glove. Like a glove.
Well, Bryce getting the ramps down. Pushing the loader back up.
Oh, time to ease back to Wayne County, folks.
It's like 10 o'clock.
10, 13.
10:13. Alright, this is where we at on the Maverick, y'all. So, we readjusted all the linkage, checked it. I was going to change the modulator valve, but the one I had will not fit. This one has a double vacuum port on it, and I've done some reading. It's for EGR purposes. The one I had screws in, this one presses in, has a tab bolted on it to hold it in place. So, Bryce is gonna pick up an EGR valve, a modulator valve, and swap it, because everything that we done, fluid, linkage, change the ports to the vacuum, or change the vacuum ports to both locations on the modulator valve. We still have no third gear. So he's gonna load it up, take it home with him, tinker on it, but he's coming back a couple weeks when I get caught up on some of my stuff, and we're gonna try to figure out what's going on with the transmission, do some exhaust on it, and change the distributor. He's gonna probably go ahead and do the timing chain cover on it, where we can stick a manual fuel pump on it. I'm gonna look him up a gas tank, and disc brakes on the front.
Most definitely disc brakes. That is a given.
So it is running. It's running way better. It's running good. It'll be even better once we get the right distributor in it with the vacuum advance, where we can set the timing on it. And we're gonna bring this old girl around. Bryce is gonna start cruising with this song. He's gonna start smoking some tires.
Yeah, I'll be just like you. I'll be taking that one wheel peel through town, brother. You know what? I might even drive through, make the old loop, get Daddy to show me the old loop. And
Yeah.
I'll stop at the stop sign, and I'll send you a video.
Okay.
I'll let you reminisce on your days back.
It's got to be at night though. Got to leave the red light and do it at night. Take Trip with you and tell Trip to film.
That's right. I mean, you know, you heard her now. She wanted to let them loose today.
Oh yeah.
In the shape she's in.
It ain't. Yeah, this thing. It's ready to just tear out like a wild beast.
I've seen these things, man. They'll take them to the drag strip, and they will build these little cars, and they are fast little cars.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They'll mini tub them and get them right, and they're bad.
Well, I say let's convert it to disc, and we'll start looking for some cool wheels for it too.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
And we'll get
Just
the stance. We'll get the stance just right on it, and it's gonna be a cool little car. I like it. I like it a lot. But guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. We're hot and tired. It's almost 10:30. We've been at it since about 9:30 this morning, and didn't get as much done as we wanted to, but hey, we're moving forward. So I appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all for watching and hanging out. And until the next one, y'all please be safe. Y'all take care. Bye-bye. You gonna say bye, Bryce?
We'll catch y'all on the next one.
There you go. He's a natural, y'all.